Your why is something objective. It's who you are. It's who you are at your natural best. You know, we were all fully formed when we were young. We are products of our upbringing. And we can make tactical changes, but fundamentally who we are is who we are. And putting your why into words is putting that into words. So once it's written, you can tweak the language for sure and find nuance, but there's no changing it. So if you're changing it every year, probably not your why. But I can tell you a fun little exercise if you want to learn your why. I call it the friends test. Call a friend who you love, someone who you could call them at 3 o'clock in the morning, or they could call you at 3 o'clock in the morning and you would absolutely take the call. Do not do this with a spouse or a sibling. Those relationships are too close because they know you too well. Do it with a best friend and ask them this simple question. Why are we friends? And they're going to look at you like you're crazy because you're asking them to put into words something that exists in the emotional part of their brain, the limbic brain, but that part of the brain doesn't control language, the neocortex. And so they're going to say, I don't know. Why are you asking me? And you say, come on, just humor me. And then weirdly, you stop asking the question why. You ask the question what. It elicits better answers. Come on, what specifically is it about me that I know that you would be there for me no matter what? And they'll start describing you. I don't know, I can trust you, you're smart, you're funny, and you play devil's advocate. Great, that's a lot of friends. What specifically is it about me? And they're gonna go through a few rounds of hemming and hawing, and eventually they'll give up. And eventually they'll give up and start describing themselves. And this is what my friend said to me. I don't know, Simon. All I know is I can just sit in a room with you. I don't even have to talk to you, and I feel inspired. And I got goosebumps. In fact, I'm getting them right now. And if you do this with multiple friends, you'll get very similar, if not the exact same answer, because what they're articulating is your value you have in the world, which is your why. So it's a fun way to get at it if you're interested in it.
Imagine this on your resume, a certified expert in ChatGPT and AI tools. Sounds impressive, right? It can be your reality. In 2023, when thousands of people are getting fired from their jobs and getting replaced by AI, the AI
Now my sound is also ready. Oh, the people are able to hear me properly, and also it is getting recorded also. Now let us start with, let me share the screen. What I have prepared for you, how conflict is positive for a mid-career professional, and the 30 reasons how it might be why, but why it was interesting to me is the how. Improve decision making. How do you think that your decision making becomes good when a conflict happens? Remember the last time when you had this person in your team who had taken a decision and you have supported. Over some months, you see that that decision was not correct. Not his, not yours. Now what? So, whenever there is a conflict, it is a hint to you that your decision making needs to be improved. I had decided a few years, long back actually, that all the decisions will be taken by the federation that I had created of the literate ladies. And there was a 50-50 deliberation on ladies not being able to take quick decisions. So I was becoming very impatient with that process. Right? So I was giving them these options. If these are the choices, then what? For example, they had 15 lakh lying idle in their bank account. Now that was not good business, right? I agree that I didn't have any business sense either. But you know, unless you try, you and the ladies, there was no scope to learn that either. And then we had a board member coming in who would have guided us towards a better business, but he also came from a socialistic background, and he didn't have this risk-taking ability, and so there was no support for the entire team taking a decision, going ahead with business decision. Now that was something very tiring, and it leads to nowhere. What will happen? That money that we had was in any case was grant money, and if we tried, we could have taken a decision to establish businesses, right? But that didn't. That was not going anywhere. So I had to take a decision. I had to put my foot down and take a decision that this money, part of it, not all, will be invested in something which will be worthwhile. Out of 15 lakhs, 5 lakhs were required to put 3-phase electricity line. It was available at 90% discount because those people were tribals. And just 1 lakh 60 and plus some conveyance expenses happened. It was about 2 lakhs. 2 lakhs of it was on a herbal cultivation. Why I did that decision? Because I had taken previous decisions as well, which were about hybrid mustard cultivation. Those were huge success. Prior to that, we had this integrated farming, but all those were in a small scale, right? So that decision I had taken. Now, good or bad, that was a decision I had taken, but it was a 50% support it had, because in business, it has to be run by a person who is 100%, who has to be 100% decision maker. Otherwise, it is not a group game. But being in that group, it helped me to realize that my decision making had to be more streamlined. Second was enhanced problem solving skills. Problems happened in that context. Problems were of decision making, right? And as a result, what happens is when you give out such huge amount of money, that money will be utilized in certain other things. And I knew it was utilized in something. Those problems, people had taken certain decisions because of those situations. Was it good? Was it bad? How to solve those problems? In any case, that was taken, that decision was taken, and the entire area had that three-phase connection. It might have taken many years for that thing to happen. Now it has happened. And the entire, I didn't keep account of what, but the resistances that come in when you take a decision also create problems. But when in conflict in the world, whether you like it or don't like it, those needs to be solved. As I said, taking a decision has to happen, and it had happened. And that established as me as some kind of a leader, which might not be the 100% correct way, but in any case, that was what was done. Empathy to people, and conflict happens because it keeps on draining for some time, and I didn't know or something. It fosters innovations also, and then when some conflicts happen, it so happens that it requires attention, and maybe the leader is not paying attention to something. These are the reasons. Also, in addition to the reason that some troublemongers are there. So maybe 50% of the time, the assumption that people are troublemongers might be correct. But look at the 50% of the time when people actually are in trouble. Can you see that the leadership ability is called for, and hence it is a golden opportunity for a leader to establish that he or she is in charge. When you are in charge, it requires a lot of personal growth as well. You have to overcome your anger for the for 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 the for the matter. Do you love your teammates? You love your teammates, right? So you have to. That was an opportunity wherein you prove to your team that you are concerned, and while they're angry, you keep on explaining to them and take your action also. That is what resilience is. Promotes diversity and inclusion. Try to listen to the phrases being used and use the same phrases in a positive manner so that they feel heard and the assurance that the issue is well taken care of. Observe the body language and be poised. There might be real unsettling issues there. People might be really angry. But if you understand that and also anticipate that these things will happen, then you will be very tranquil and poised, and that reassures people that they are well taken care. Facilitates change management because when such a this conflict happens because of something is changed, right? If the leader is accountable for those changes and establishes clear boundaries to something needs to happen, because just because some people don't like it, it doesn't mean that there is these things can be stopped. And this really requires the assertive communication skills to put people that something are okay, but still the decision needs to be taken. Every time there is some question, some decision, things need to be learned and conveyed. Confusion is usual. So if you have taken some kind of decisions, then it might create some confusion. So you have to negotiate with them that these solutions are in the offing, and being a leader, just curtail that confusion if there is one. Don't add any of your perspectives, but validate different perspectives that those are coming. And if you are adding some kind of perspective, then please ask for their permission. And that is how the ethical leadership is established. But keep that as a last resort, and allow your employees, your team members to engage in the discussion. And that discussion, if there is sufficient discussion, even there should not be, the time needs to be allowed so that it prevents escalation to the next level. That is why the discussion has to happen in several rounds. And each round will nurture accountability, because everybody is responsible for their decisions. Do not bring past issues. Be flexible at all time in the conversation. Even if the trend that is appearing, even if it looks like it is a trend, like the person is always acting, or the group of people are always acting the same, but be trustworthy and build trust. You have to give an air of a person of the moment, and even if there is a past occurrence, do not hold any water anymore. That is the conviction you need to. That is the impression that you have to give. That gives a lot of confidence and comfort to the team members, and it builds transparency also. You as a leader is taking care of their psychological safety. And while you are encouraging all these, even if the solution is there in front, do not be hurried about making a decision. Engage with them, allow them to give their opinions so that there is learning opportunity for them. They also need to understand why this decision is being taken in this manner. And strengthens a conflict resolution culture. The way you handle the conflict, that will be learned by your juniors or other colleagues also, and everybody will appreciate the way that the conflict is resolved peacefully. And this enhances your reputation as a leader also, demonstrate leadership confidence. That is why it is an opportunity. And the vehicle is Unbeatable USP being the winner in the case of conflict, no matter your USP is to be unbeatable, others USP, you help them to be unbeatable. So that is what we need to do as leaders. And these are golden opportunities when things can be at your side. Hope this has added value to your understanding, and thank you for watching.